Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to round 7 of the iRacing Proto-GT Challenge, brought to you by TrakRacer, broadcasted by v8sonline. I'm your host, Daniel Bryan, and with me, like always, Clayton Brooks. How are you, Brooksy?
Good, thanks, Daniel. How are you, mate?
Very, very good. Quite happy that we don't have to put up with Sebastian actually talking to the people. All we have to do is put up with listening to him in our ear for a change.
Yeah, no, once was enough, I think, for the spectators, but we'll put up with him.
Yeah, someone's got to do it. Anyway, we're at a brilliant little track for our final race before we go on break for 2 weeks, and a good one to kind of finish it off with for that little bit of a break here at Montreal.
Yeah, it's a great track. It's one of the favourites, fast becoming a favourite. It's only new to iRacing, but it's one of the favourites among many drivers. I know that. It's high bank corners, high bank corners, the high curbs on the corners. Definitely provides some good racing, no matter what car you're in, really.
Yeah, definitely. It's a fantastic track. It opens itself up to this multi-class style of racing because it's really nice and wide, plus a lot of long straightaways and some really slow corners as well. So we should see some really interesting racing and some clean racing around here.
Yeah, definitely. There's plenty of runoff areas too, being a Formula One used track, so there's plenty of runoff area for the guys, which tends to clean the racing up a little.
Yeah, definitely. You can push it a little bit harder and feel a little bit safer about it.
Yeah, most definitely. Just no runoff area on the last corner though. The Wall of Champions. I'm interested to see who's going to kiss that one first.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be interesting to see the time comparison between a HBD to a Ford GT around here. The HBD is obviously going to be very dominant, as this is mainly set up as a Formula One style track.
Yeah, definitely. The high downforce cars certainly excel here. Plenty of corners. The straights aren't huge. There's a couple of decent straights, but there's certainly a lot of corners which are going to favour the HBD and make that time difference between laps quite large.
Now I'm just loading in, so I haven't seen the grids yet. If you're loaded in, do you want to run us through the HBDs?
I'm nearly in there. It's just about to come in now.
I'm in. Alright, I might quickly run us through the HBD prototype grid. So in first, we've got our definitely one of our most dominant drivers out there in the HBD, Anthony Kernich. In second, Paul Agnew had a fantastic race in Interlagos. Third, Dean O'Brien. Fourth, David Chen. Fifth, Steve Hoonan. Sixth, Anton Volodin. Seventh, Reese Gardner. Eighth, Patrice Lenglet. Ninth, Gavin Barber. 10th, Lucas C. B. Lully. 11th, Craig Dorr. 12th, Neil DeBurn. 13th, Jory Bluktucker. I think we've got some internationals. 14th, Bart Martinovich. 15th, Adrian Blasco. 16th, Clifford Chapman.
I've gone in now, Daniel. So I've got the GT ones, which is the Corvettes. We've got Tony Aldridge off pole position. Charles NG out of second. Luca Ciovardi in third. Jake Burton in fourth. Pedro Jose Rodriguez in fifth. Jason Scully in sixth. Timothy Ballinger 7th, Bruce DiCarlo in 8th, Bronislav Robinek in 9th, Andre Grishin 10th, Tim Boltz in 11th, Giacomo Ponti in 12th, and Michael Bridges in 13th, and I apologise for my pronunciation there.
Yeah, it's definitely a few internationals floating around there, making it very hard to get through. But we'll keep pressing on. So in the GT2s and Ford GT, we got Bo Cattell in first, Sam Sutton second, Andrew Wallace third, Dwayne Burns fourth, Andrew Wren fifth, Robert Bridges sixth. Robert Bridges fifth. Sorry, is that right? No, sixth.
No, sixth. Yep.
Yeah. In seventh, we got Gennady Titov. 8th, Cody Malloy. 9th, Rob Swindles. 10th, Justin Petschow. 11th, Dylan Brandon. 12th, Rob Sanders. And 13th, Luke Spalding. Geez, some hard names to get through there.
That certainly is, mate. That's fourth 42 car grid. It's a huge field tonight. Obviously, we've got all the Australian, New Zealand guys in, plus all the internationals. So we're going to be in for one heck of a race, I think.
Yeah, it definitely should be interesting. And I'm just looking at the qualifying times. The fastest lap by Anthony Kernich, a 1:26, and then in the GT1s, a 1:31 from Tony Autridge. That's a big difference in speed comparison. And then I think it's another 5 seconds behind that for a Ford GT.
Yeah, 10 seconds between pole position in the Ford GT and the HBD. So they are going to come up very quick around here. I just hope the HBD guys are patient and pick their times when they want to get those passes done. Sorry, we're just getting a bit of difficult technical difficulties. We're not getting positions in the overlays at the moment, but we're working on it and we'll try and get it sorted for you. We'll try and keep you up to date with who's where anyway.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a difficult thing trying to keep up with who's where and what's happening, because this is a massive grid for Montreal. Here at Montreal, the track length is 4.31 kilometres. We have 13 turns, and it's just fantastic. The start of this track, with the way that it's set out, very intense.
We've started. We're gone. It's not a real big long out lap, and we're off.
Anthony Kernich, a good run there at the start in the HBD. Not as big as what he normally has been getting.
He's held on to the lead though. That's the most important thing, is all the HBD seems to get through the first couple of corners cleanly. Oh, we're back on Tony Autridge here. We've got a HBD starting from pit lane who's put himself right in between first and second in the Corvettes.
Not a good idea to start from pit lane around here with the gap between the different classes launching. Definitely leads to a bit of a messy situation.
The GT2s as well, everyone seems to have made a nice clean start. The pole position, Bocatel and the GT2 cars is right on Tim Foltz and Michael Bridges in the GT1s, so they've got a pretty poor start by the looks of it.
Yeah, definitely, to have a Ford GT that close to you already. Yeah. Kernich already at 1.2 seconds. He's obviously got some speed down these straights, which is making him quite competitive. Love this part of the track. Absolutely amazing.
I'm not sure if Paul Agnew is going to be able to take the fight there, Anthony, tonight. That first lap he's shown quite some dominance already.
Yeah, definitely. Paul Agnew, though, to be fair, kind of come on a little bit stronger as he kind of got used to the car. He seemed to struggle at the start at Interlagos, so you never know what's going to happen.
But Dean O'Brien's definitely got the eyes on at the moment, right behind Paul.
I've got to say, I'm just quickly watching the blimp camera at the moment and keeping an eye on these HBDs. And the way that Anthony Kernich took those corners there, really hitting those apexes compared to that of Paul Agnew and Dean O'Brien, who are just missing them a little bit. Anthony Kernich needs to have this thing really dialed in.
Just touching back on the GT1 cars, Tony Autridge has extended his lead a little over Charles Nedenji, who's extended his lead quite a bit over Jake Burton in third spot.
Some of these Ford GTs struggling with trying to get around Corvettes. Obviously the Corvette's a lot faster, but looks like a few of these guys are struggling with their pace. Looks like Michael Bridges is holding him up a little bit.
Yeah, I think a few guys struggled to get in. I know I was late getting in because such a large grid size. I think a lot of blokes' computers are running a little slow here tonight.
Oh! Nice little battle here.
Reece Gardner with Steve Honan and Patrice Langlet.
Yeah, Reese Gardner having some mixed results in this car, but still really loves it.
Got a car stopped on the track, turn 1. Anton, no, he's got going now. But he just sort of stopped. I don't know if he must have got a phone call or something. He just stopped and didn't want to go anywhere.
Oh, well, you know, you shouldn't use your mobile while driving.
Mate, it can wait.
That's it. Maybe we should get him to put that slow down in his car.
Been a change of position in the GT1 cars. Jason Scully's got ahead of Jake Burton. He's fallen back 2 spots.
Yeah, nice little group there in the corner. Oh, we've got a bit of an incident.
Duca's gone around.
I think he might have been assisted in that one as well.
We'll bring up the race call replay for you. There's been more accidents at the same corner.
So Jake Burton's actually just tapped Juca there.
Yeah, and the aftermath of that, Pedro Jose Rodriguez spun there, and oh, hell, we've got another car spun as well. We got... Oh, it's all happened on that last corner. Michael Bridges, he spun as well.
A couple of HBDs tripping up over the GT1 boys.
Anthony Koenig has bowled out to a 3-second lead so far. Paul Agnew still under plenty of pressure from Dean O'Brien, 2nd and 3rd in HBD cars. And we're only going on to five laps into this race, and Anthony Koenig is just about caught lap traffic already.
Yeah, it definitely shows a massive speed difference between these cars.
Oh, Dean O'Brien's just got past Paul Agnew down into turn 1. Bo Catel's not having it all his own way in the GT2s. He's got Sam Sutton still applying plenty of pressure to the back of him.
Yeah, definitely making it hard for him to get a dominant lead over the rest of the GT field.
We've kept you up to date as best we can with the position so far, but I think now the overlays may be working, so just across the top of the screen you should have all the positions going.
Oh, we've got a nice little battle here in the GT2 class as Dylan Brandon and Rob Swindles battle it out. Really close. Go! Oh, he managed to catch that. Oh,
Done well.
He's definitely done well. How he managed to hit that one together, I'll be damned.
We go on board and have a look back at Dylan Brandon from Rob Swindle's car. Dylan Brandon's got plenty of pace on board. He wants to get this move done. As a look down the inside. We've got the leader of the race, Anthony Koenig, fast approaching.
In plenty of room to get around.
Oh, is it? Oh, he hung on the outside there of Anthony Koenig. Didn't want to give up position to Dylan Brandon. Dylan Brandon has a big dive down. Oh, and he spins it. He's just locked it up under brakes. Managed to keep it going, but the move's still not done.
These guys are going to have a whole bunch of HBDs barreling down behind them to make life a little bit more difficult for them. Dean O'Brien struggling to get away now. He's got around Paul Agnew, but definitely looking a lot more comfortable out there. As in the 4GTs, Bo Cattell and Sam Sutton still battling it out for first and second. Got a nice little battle with the Corvette still. Tony Orchard and Charles Engie having a close battle. So
yeah,
I didn't get too far away.
Yeah, Tony skipped out the first couple of laps, but Charles done well to peg that gap back.
Charles always seems to have really good race pace in this Corvette.
He certainly does. He had plenty of race pace last week at Interlagos, but an unfortunate accident put pay to that night.
Now we are missing a regular from the Corvette field. No Leo Gray out there.
No, actually there's a couple. Leo Gray, Wayne Burke, couple guys missing. But there's a Neo 3-hour race on later tonight, and there's a couple of guys that have put all their practice into that this week. We'll put all the details of the 3-hour race up on our Facebook page if anyone wants to find out the details about it and support Leo. Just hearing through, he's racing the Kia around Bathurst. Should be interesting for him.
Very interesting.
We've got the HBDs making their way through the GT1 cars. GT2 cars, sorry, of Bo Cattell and Sutton.
Jason Scully and Bruce having a nice little battle, keeping it close. Bruce gonna have a look on the inside. Might actually have this line. Definitely got pace and
oh! It's contact. He's straight on behind.
Well, that's a way of getting around a car. Jake Burton almost getting involved in that one as well.
That's taken push the pass to the extreme there from Bruce DeCavallo.
Yeah, definitely. Big hit.
Bring up the race 4 replay. I think Bruce was just caught off guard a little bit. Jason Scully's braking there. I don't know if he braked a little bit early or what, but he certainly didn't have any time to react. Unfortunately, we've lost Jason now from the race.
Flat pause, suffering. These guys have great battles. Steve Honan and Reece Gardiner battling it out for 5th position at the moment.
Yeah, it's like they've just continued on from where they were last week.
Yeah, definitely. Reece really starting to find his pace within this HBD and where he sits.
The GT2 4GT of Bo Cattell got a little loose, letting Reece through.
Jeez, look at that. Just looking at Bo Cattell, and he almost caught Pedro in his Corvette off that corner.
Yeah, of course, Pedro's out of position a little bit from his spin earlier in the race, trying to make up spots. Lucas does a bold move down for return 2. Battles happening all over the track here tonight, Daniel. I don't know where to look.
Yeah, there's so much action. We're looking at so many cars, but we're going to have a look at Anthony Kernich, our race leader. And I don't know, I'm not looking at the timing sheet at the moment, but just looking at where these cars are sitting, it looks like Dean's actually starting to pull in.
Yes, he is. It's only down to a 2-second gap now. 1.3 second gap. 2 seconds last time they crossed the line, so he's, I don't know if it was lap traffic or if Dean O'Brien's really coming to grips with his car and pulling in Anthony Kernich.
We've got a Corvette coming out of pits. Oh, we've got a Corvette that's actually flicked it.
Yeah, Timothy Ballinger at turn 1.
I think he's done that all by himself. Yep, just a little bit too hard into that corner there. See if we can get that up on our race recall replay. Oh, jeez. Watching this Anthony Kernich battle with Dean O'Brien. Dean O'Brien's very strong under brakes, very aggressive into these corners. I think this is almost less than a second now.
Yes, so he's definitely catching him. They haven't had much traffic this lap. I've been watching them, and Dean O'Brien's still bringing that margin down.
Bit of traffic up ahead. This should make it a little bit more interesting. But Dean's so strong under the brakes. He's really aggressive. Oh, he's tapped one of the Ford GTs there of Justin. Got a bit too hot into that corner.
And that last lap actually didn't count for Dean O'Brien, so maybe he's suffered a meatball flag out of that. I think he's suffered some damage there. He was gaining more than, or nearly a full second on Anthony Kernich before that, and now that lap hasn't counted, and he's dropped quite a few seconds to Anthony Kernich.
Yeah, Justin in the Ford GT that got hit by him looks like he's struggling as well with his car, so not good to see. Just going to pull that up on the race recall replay, but it definitely was a very impatient move there by Dean O'Brien.
Yeah, I'd say he definitely suffered damage out of that. Took a pretty severe hit to that front left wheel.
Yeah, it's a pretty big hit, a lot of speed. He even was pretty aggressive across that curb, so...
As now Dean O'Brien's got Paul Agnew chasing him down. We'll just check in with Bo Cattell and Sam Sutton. These are the leaders of the GT2 cars. Still separated by not much at all.
No, I don't think this gap has changed at all. Sam Sutton just sitting there with Bo.
Go back to the leader of GT1. Tony Autridge has opened that gap up now to Charles and G. Dean O'Brien has pulled the car over and quit from this race. There was just too much damage for him to be able to continue on, unfortunately.
was definitely struggling with that car, so probably a wise move to make.
We check in again on Reese Gardner and Steve Honan, still battling away. Steve Honan just holding it over Reese Gardner at the moment. Reese Gardner looks very good under brakes.
He was the same at Interlagos last week, very strong under the brakes. Seems to be having a lot of trouble with straight line speed though. He's definitely right on his tail here though. Steve's got a much better run though coming out of those chicanes.
Yeah, he seems to get off the corner a little bit, doesn't he, Steve? We're getting quite a few cars finding their way in pit lane. We've got Michael Bridges, Bronislav and Timothy Ballinger all sitting there at the moment. And Justin as well in the GT2 cars. Probably a good thing we've got a really big grid tonight, Daniel. I'm not sure how many guys are going to make it to the end.
It's a little bit scary. Looking at a fair chunk of our cars already with the DNF.
We got Anton Volodon. He's running around. He's got no nose cone on the front of his car on the HBD. He's lost that somewhere around the track.
It's probably a pretty important piece there for that car. He'll be struggling.
Certainly helps with the downforce.
We've missed something here. Proto-GT looks like he's dropped off a little bit. Back down into third.
Yeah, and 11 seconds off the leader of Sam Sutton. That's where he was battling for the lead. We've got a good little battle actually now. We've got Dwayne Burns, Tony Autridge in the Corvette trying to make his way through with Proto-GT, and Andrew Wren sitting just behind in 4th spot.
Neil and Craig having a nice little battle here. Oh! That looks like you might get a cut track for that one. Doesn't really seem to be backing off though.
Yeah, looked like he's let Neil back through for may got a little slow down there at the last chicane.
Craig Doyle would probably be enjoying having that little battle. He's been a solid finisher, but tends to race by himself. Hasn't had really anyone to compete with.
We have a look at Jake Burton and Bruce DiCavolo. Jake's got a really good run on him here.
He definitely does. Strong under brakes. Jake's got a good run. Oh, a little bit shaky coming out of that corner. Still looks like he's got good speed though. Steve Honan really whipping it around.
Yeah, he was very sideways into turn 1. Reese looks like he's going to capitalise on this. He's got the run of the next corner. Yep.
Oh, great move there by Reese.
Mate, they'll play past the GT2
car.
Reese
has overcooked it. Might get a slowdown. Yep.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, he'd be disappointed with that one. Just a bit too hot into that corner. And he's got to do all that work all over again. And it's not very often you see Steve make a mistake, and Reese had the upper hand there.
Yeah, that was definitely his chance to capitalise. Here, and Andre Grisham's made his way to pit lane. I can't keep my eyes off this Bruce DeCavallo and Jake Burton battle. Having a really good battle. They will not let each other go.
Yeah, it's definitely a fantastic battle to watch. Jake Burton looks to be stronger, just can't get around him.
Because this is for 4th and 5th in their class.
And not too far up the road, we've got Juka, who's doing a fantastic job in 3rd at the moment, keeping himself out of trouble.
Yeah, no, Juka's doing a real good job because he obviously he had that spin earlier on in the race.
Bo Cattell starting to make his way back up to the top. He's got to get around Dwayne Burns. He's definitely got the speed.
Of course, Bo Cattell's front running pace, so he'll have the speed on Dwayne Burns, as he's going to have a look down the inside, thinks better of it.
Definitely faster than you little Ford GT, so should be interesting to see if he can catch back up to Sam Sutton by the end of this race. Race is back onto Steve again.
Yeah, it
really
didn't take very long.
No, he's got some good pace down this straightaway. A lot of pace. But there's a lot of traffic floating around in front of him, so this could get interesting.
Yeah, this is heaps here. It could be a matter of who picks the best line through here.
They're weaving around. We're just going to drive on board with Reese for a second, watch how one of these HBDs navigates traffic. Oh, he's almost got tapped by a Corvette.
Oh,
there's a Ford GT on the apex.
What you want to see?
Yeah, enough to get the old heart racing. Oh, Reese pushes around a Ford GT. Definitely pushing that thing, going in hard, going to try and get around this Corvette as quick as he can.
Yeah, he's trying to do everything that Steve in front's doing. He's doing a good job at the moment.
Good job by the guys in the slower class, making sure that they give them enough room to battle on.
Oh, is Reese gone around the outside?
Oh, he holds his line. Good driving there by Reese.
He lost a little bit of time for that move, but he's done well to keep it on track.
Yeah, definitely. I think he's gotten through there the quickest way that he could. But Gavin Barber's got himself a nice little battle here with Patrice. A couple of slower cars in front.
Yeah, just making their way through the lap traffic that Reese has just done, a lap before. Craig Dorr and Neil De Bruin have had a swap of positions, with Neil De Bruin losing out to Craig Dorr.
Koenig has lost a lot of time.
He certainly has. Paul Agnew's down to around a second behind.
Oh, Tim Forbes takes out Paul Agnew.
Wow. Let's talk about a commentator's curse, as we were saying.
That's a big hit.
That director can get the race recall replay up. There's Paul Agnew trying to do what Reese did, to go around the outside and
just smash the front nose.
Yeah.
I think that might actually be on Paul Agnew, that one.
Yeah, he certainly seemed to cut down a bit on Tim Foltz, who's well within his right to hold his line. And it takes the pressure back off Anthony Koenig.
And it brings Steve Honan and Reese Gardner into podium positions. See if they can work out which one they want. All these cars are ducking and weaving with Reese Gardner and Steve Honan. as Dwayne Burns takes the lead.
Yeah, Sam Sutton's had an incident somewhere to let these guys back through. Of course, now out of the GT2 cars, they've all up all the speeds. Bocatel, which he's now sitting just behind the leader in second spot. Half an hour of this race, though. Only got the last 15 minutes left. I think if Bocatel could just be patient here, he'll get this position.
Yeah, definitely. Once he can get around Dwayne, he's definitely proved to be faster than Dwayne. So obviously Dwayne's very defensive driving, making it a harder task for him to get around.
Got a very good run here as Dwayne goes defensive.
It's that inside line. HBD around to give him a bit of menace coming down onto this straight.
I thought Bocatel would make the crossover work for him then.
So we've got some Corvettes barreling in behind them as well, with Jake Burton and Bruce in a nice little battle.
Yeah, Bruce and Jake have been at it all race long. They still only separated by less than a second. But 3 wide into the first corner, sorry.
It's like Bo's going to get that job
inside.
done. As Dwayne goes out wide into a bit of a run-off area, Bocatel takes the lead.
Reece Gardner is pushing hard to catch up to Steve Honan, and he's bridging that gap.
Yeah, definitely pushing really hard. Wants that position.
Because the two of them are fighting for the final podium spot at the moment. Getting news through that Bruce has lost some time to Jake Burton, who they were having a really good battle. We'll check in with the leader of a GT1 cars, Tony Autridge. He's powering along quite nicely. Got a 10-second gap now back to Charles and G.
Yeah, Tony Autridge is very dominant in the Corvette.
Of course, we'll probably see Tony Autridge come out tomorrow night at Road America in the V8s.
Yeah, definitely it would be brilliant to see him out there. Love that track. Road America, a great track, especially for the V8 supercars.
I'm going to throw a shameless plug in here for Justin Ruggie, who's back on track after his injury, and he's taking some pretty good time, so he'll be racing tomorrow night too.
Yeah, it's going to be great to see Justin back out there. It's been a lot of weeks, probably 7-8 weeks.
Yeah, probably about that.
Yeah, since he's been out on track, and he was looking pretty dominant last season, and he's missed a good chunk of this season, so it'd be good to see him out there. Probably not the amount of pressure as what he's had, and hopefully by next season we'll see him in contention for a championship.
We've Bocatel has scooted away more than 3 seconds. Once he's got past Dwayne Burns, he's really put the foot down, but that battle, it's really starting to heat up again. He's Reece Gardner and Steve Honan, and Reece is bringing that gap in by more than a second a lap.
Yeah, Reese is right on his tail now. Really pushing that prototype to get the most out of it. Seems really clean on the wheel.
We've got 11 minutes left, so still plenty of time there for Reese to get that podium.
Yeah, definitely.
We got last week's winner, I believe it was, wasn't it, for the GT2 Andrew Wren? He's looking for another podium spot in the GT2 cars.
Yeah, consistency is the key here. Great to see him get a podium, but yeah, fantastic job by Andrew Wren at Interlagos to take that win. So Dylan Brandon's had a bit of a spin at turn 1. I'm actually noticing a fair few cars at turn 1 just tend to be going in there a little bit too hot and just flicking it.
Get the race school recall replay. Dylan Brandon going into turn 1. He had Paul Agnew come down the inside. Yeah, and he's just touched the grass on the right hand side and has sent the car around. Fortunately, no damage to anyone else. Of course, it's put him in a really good battle now with Andrew Wallace.
We're in the 9-minute window for Anthony Kernich to hopefully, well, he'll be hoping that he'll take the victory here if everything falls his way. As the battle for third is still on between Steve Hoonan and Reese Gardner.
Yeah, Reese Gardner's not going to let this go. He's hungry for it. You can tell just the mannerisms that he's driving the car.
He's really pushing it. Just going to have a looking back from Steve's car. Have a look how much pressure Reese is applying.
He's really closing up under brakes.
Yeah, he's very smooth through those corners. Steve seems to have really good exit speed still compared to that of Reese. But Reese is definitely a lot stronger coming into the corner.
They're both very seasoned campaigners, so I don't expect Steve to make any mistakes because of the pressure.
Yeah, definitely. As they come up to some lap traffic here, there's Tony Autridge. Gets around a Ford GT. Plenty of room there for all of them to get through.
Yeah, no, it was good driving, especially from the Ford GT of Robert Bridges. I didn't want to get messed up with those guys. Well, Steve Honan was trying to get in front of Tony Autry before the last chicane then to build a bit of a gap. The GT1 straight line speed's phenomenal. It's a big Chevy V8. It's
Reese Gardner getting really close there as Steve Honan struggles to get around this GT1.
Oh, as he gets loose off turn 2. Tony Autry isn't making it easy for these guys.
No, he's holding his speed. As Reese and Steve duck through that corner, get around him. And Reese is really close now. You can taste Steve wants to get this done. So we'll get him into a podium position.
A lot later turning from Reece Gardner.
Like he struggled a little bit getting out of that corner.
I don't know if Reece won't be suffering a little bit of aero push. He's certainly got the speed to get on the back of Steve, but he can't get that job done. So the turbulent air off Steve's car could be having an effect on Reece.
Bo-Catel's starting to lose a bit of time.
Yeah, I think he may have had some sort of incident. Last lap was a little bit slower than the other laps been doing.
Andrew Wren still holding third. Paul Agnew makes his way through. I'm surprised Paul Agnew's still out there with so much pace. With the amount of damage that's sitting on his car, he's doing a great job to keep that one out there. Something's happened to Jake Burton.
Well, timing's showing Sam Sutton in front of Andrew Wren now, so Sam Sutton's grabbed that podium position for the GT2 cars. Right behind Dwayne Burns and Bo-Catel, who's leading that class. So the top four are only separated by about 4 or 5 seconds in the GT2 at the moment.
They're definitely very competitive at the moment in that class.
Only 4 minutes to go. It's quite intriguing who's going to take this GT2 class out. Sam Sutton's showing a lot of speed at the back of Dwayne Burns.
Yeah, Sam Sutton done a fantastic job. Obviously he lost a lot of time there and fell way back, but he's definitely got the speed to get back up there.
I've got Reece Gardner's lost a lot of time to Steve Honan as well.
He's actually looking quite slow at the moment.
He's tagged the wall. Turn 3, I think it was.
Yeah, it looks like he's just gone in too hot. The same corner where he had an issue before and he's overshot. He just managed to tap that wall, which is pushed in that left-hand side there. See if we can put that up on the race recall.
Bit of a margin over Lucas, so hopefully he can still hold on to that 4th position.
Just having a look now, just a little bit too hot. Can't pull it up. He's tapped the wall.
Yeah, we mentioned before patience was going to be key, and I think he was getting a little bit impatient behind Steve.
Yeah, definitely. One of those things. You sometimes just need to go out and wait your time to make these moves. Time was running out, but he definitely was applying a lot of pressure.
Talk about pressure, we've got Sam Sutton applying heaps to the back of Dwayne Burns. This is for the 2nd step on the GT2 class. Obviously with these two battling a little bit, it's helping Bo-Catel build that margin.
It's definitely what he needs to do because Sam Sutton's looking fiery. There's not much left in this one now.
We've got 2 minutes left, so not sure if Anthony Koenig would get the white flag this lap. This will be his 2nd last lap. He'll get the white flag next time around.
Flawless drive so far from Anthony Koenig.
He's done very well. It's been a huge amount of traffic tonight, a lot more than most weeks. He's done very well so far to negotiate all that.
Yeah, definitely. Same as Tony Ortridge. Fantastic drive by him so far. Kept his nose out of trouble. Sam Sutton still trying to get around Dwayne Burns.
They've got the fast approaching HBD of Steve Honan, going to throw himself in the mix.
Reese looks like he's starting to get that pace back. That was almost an 8-second gap, I think, once Reese hit that wall. And now it's down to less than 4 seconds between Steve and Reese.
Yeah, I think Steve's just taking the little bit of time just to get through the lap traffic and making sure he can do it cleanly.
Yeah, definitely. After kind of being given that extra little bit of window to make sure he gets this done, you might as well take it easy and not lose out.
Yeah, no, smart driving, using the gap to his advantage. As our leader, the Anthony Koenig, has taken the white flag, so for one more lap.
So it's barreling down these Ford GTs. GT1 guys have just taken the white flag. Means that Bocatel. Oh, Reese pushing it really hard around there, around Bocatel.
Okay.
Anthony Koenig now on that back straight. I think he's pretty much got clean air all the way up to the start finish.
Yeah, no, flawless drive by Anthony's really stamped his authority on this series now.
Yeah, definitely. He's the guy to beat. Paul Agnew looked like he was starting to give him a little bit of grief, but obviously falling to the wayside there with Tim Foltz. And Anthony Koenig, from start to finish, absolutely dominated this race.
Yeah, he got through turn 1 first and he didn't look back. Done very well to negotiate all the traffic, kept it clean.
Bocatel coming onto this back straight now.
Just like to touch on Paul Agnew coming in second in HBT, a full 35 seconds behind Anthony Koenig. That was the sheer domination of that he's done tonight.
Sam Sutton's going to try and have a look at Dwayne into this final corner. I think Sam Sutton's going to get this done. Goes wide. Oh,
no!
Both into the
in
wall.
The wall and hands Andrew Wren's second spot on the podium.
Oh, they're going to be devastated. See if we can get this out. Looks like Sam Sutton's going to take third, so he's going to finish in the same position. So he lucked out on that one, and Dwayne Burns.
I feel sorry for Dwayne Burns. He'd be absolutely roverable in that GT at the moment. While that was happening, Tony Ortridge took the win in the GT1 car.
Yeah, fantastic drive by Tony Ortridge. Absolutely dominated his class as well. Got out there, just did his thing, kept himself out of trouble, and takes away a win.
Oh, that's heartbreak for Dwayne Burns to have a podium position go begging, but
yeah,
and Sam Sutton as well, I should add.
Yeah, definitely. Sam Sutton looked like he pretty much had that move done. Almost would probably come down to a racing incident, I think, for that one. But yeah, definitely a big move there from Sam Sutton. Just pull up these prototype results on screen and quickly have a look through them. Anthony Koenig absolutely dominated. He takes out the win here for the HBD class. Second, Paul Agnew. I'm surprised he actually stayed up there in second after that big hit with Tim Foltz. In third, Steve Honan. Fourth, Reese Gardner. Fifth, Lucas C. Sixth, Gavin Barber. Seventh, Patrice Langlet. Eighth, Neil DeBurn. Ninth, Jory Bluktar. And from the rest, I do believe, were DNS. Anton Clifford, Craig Dorr, David Chen, Dean O'Brien, Adrian and Bart all DNFing.
And as we get the results of the GT1, we've got Tony Autridge with that huge lead, taking the win. Charles NG second, and Duca getting third step on the podium. Pedro coming fourth, Tim Foltz in fifth, Timothy Ballinger in sixth, Jake Burton in seventh, Bruce DiCarvo eighth, ninth was Andre Grishin, 10th Michael Bridges, and 11th Bronislav, 12th Jason Scully, and 13th Giacomo.
And in the GT2s, we've got Bo Cattell in first, Andrew Wren taking second, being gifted a podium, Sam Sutton third, Gennady fourth, Dwayne fifth. He's going to be devastated about that one. Cody sixth, Dylan Brandon seventh, Robert Bridges eighth, Rob Saunders ninth, Rob Swindles 10th. And I think we have all DNFs from back there. Justin, Andrew Wallace, Luke Spalding, all DNFing.
Well, that race certainly had everything. It had fast, clean, close racing. It had accidents. It had domination by a couple of leaders. So, yeah, good viewing for everyone.
Yeah, definitely a mixed bag of results here from Montreal. I expected to be a lot more clean racing than what we saw, but we had a massive grid, probably one of our biggest grids that we've seen. A few international guys in there, and definitely shook the bag up a little bit.
Yeah, of course, and it's not necessarily a tight track, but some spots there's not a lot of room, and with the international guys lagging connections, it doesn't make it easy in mixed class racing when you're trying to make that pass. So I think on a whole, the guys done a pretty good job. Yeah,
definitely fantastic driving by most of the guys out there tonight. Great to see a massive grid out there and a lot of popularity coming into this series, and with such a beautiful circuit like this, why wouldn't you want to race here? But yeah, definitely one of the most interesting races we've seen in a while, and a good mix of chaos and racing.
We love the chaos here at v8sonline. I'm sure the spectators do too.
Yeah, definitely. Not so much the drivers, but yeah, it's always good to see a bit of a mix-up. But yeah, it's been a fantastic race. Tomorrow night for v8sonline, we're off to Road America.
Yeah,
I do believe. 15 lap sprint race at Road America. I love that circuit so much, and it suits the V8 supercar. So good to watch. As you mentioned before, we're going to see Justin back out on track, which is going to be great to see, and should shake up some of those big teams a little bit.
That's the plan, mate.
just give him a little bit of a wake up call, because yeah, definitely Justin's a very fast guy, so it's going to be great to see him back out there. I'll be in the commentary box for that one, and then I think we have one more NASCAR race, and then we go on a break for 2 weeks, which is going to be a little bit sad, but it's going to probably be good.
No, that's right. Everyone has a little bit of time off over the festive season. We're no different here at v8sonline. A lot of the guys go away with families and that, so yeah, the 2 week break won't hurt anyone.
No, definitely not. But we're still going to keep you up to date on our Facebook page. So if you haven't liked our Facebook page, head over to it, www.facebook.com/v8sonline. And like the page, because while we won't be doing a broadcast, we'll be making sure we post up all the results and whatever information we can feed you guys through the festive season. And yeah, it should be brilliant. So where are we?
I'd just like to chime in and thank the guys at v8sonline for a great year. As I come on board with you guys this year, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Wish all the spectators a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year too.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for everyone for tuning in and making this Prototype GT series take off the way that it has. And it's great to see the spectators out there watching, and it's great having you in the comm box, Brooksy, hanging out with me, putting up with me every Sunday night, and not only putting up with me, putting up with our director, Sebastian, at the same time, which is absolutely brutal. But a big thanks to Sebastian for broadcasting this for us and helping organise it. He does a lot of work behind the scenes. Hopefully he has a good Christmas and Santa brings him something nice. And yeah, to everyone...
He's been a good boy.
Well, yeah, slightly. It might be irritating, but I suppose it's going to keep him quiet if you get something nice for Christmas. I'll see you guys all tomorrow night for v8sonline. And to those who only watch the protos, and if you do, Merry Christmas, but you should really tune into the V8 Supercars as well. It's been a great year, and we'll see you early next year.